Hello there. Welcome to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast. I'm so glad you're joining me here today. As you've likely guessed by now, my name is Denise Alvarez, and I have the pleasure of hosting you here each week on the podcast. And in case we're new friends, I will give a very brief introduction, and then we will jump into how to sell on social media, which I know is why you're really here, right? So, as I said, my name is Denise. And through my business, Storm Lily Marketing, I get to help horse business owners like you turn your online visitors into your customers. And I do that through one-on-one coaching, as well as website design and content, and Social Stride, my monthly coaching program. I do each of those things as well as the podcast so that I can help the everyday horse business owner like yourself to be out in the barn or the arena doing what you love to do, building that dream horse business, right? And so here on the podcast, you can expect a mix of step-by-step strategies, some basic how-to, some mindset talk to help you not just see what's possible for your business, but so I can guide you through the process to make it happen. And so on the podcast, we've been talking about how to build connections on social media and how that's really the key to making it work for you as a business owner. So if you have not listened to the previous two episodes, number 93 was how to write social media content that connects, and 94 was Instagram stories, your social media secret weapon. And you can catch each of those, of course, in your favorite podcast player or on the show notes for today's episode, which is stormlily.com/95. I'll be sure and link to those as well. Or you may have noticed you can just go to .com/93 or 94 and listen to those. And I'm bringing those to mind because they're a framework or a background for what we're talking about today, which is selling, right? So we've talked about connections, how it's important for you to connect with those right people and know who your audience is and target them correctly and write content that speaks to them. But perhaps you've been sitting there going, okay, Denise, that's great, but I'm a business owner. I need to make some sales as a part of this process. I need it to bring in a little bit of income in some way, or for me to know that it's impacting my income, right? And I get that. I'm a business owner just like you, right? So, do sales really come out of the work that you're doing to build those connections? Absolutely, they do. And I promise you, I'm not just saying that because it sounds good on the podcast or is what a marketer would say. I'm going to share a story with you that's a real life person, and her name is Katie. She is in my Social Stride coaching program or my membership, and she has a business where she both trains horses and provides riding lessons in Maryland. And we have been working together on a one-to-one basis lately to really help her cement that social media strategy. So she's taking what she gets inside of Social Stride, and she wanted to really put together, a framework so that she can really make the most of it. We had worked together on her website before, so it was a natural fit. Okay, so in case you're wondering, Denise, do you do social media strategy? No, friends, I do one-to-one coaching, and if social media strategy is the help you need, we can go there. So back to Katie. She has taken what she gets in Social Stride, those templates, right? And she has been posting consistently on Facebook on a consistent basis. Why Facebook? Because she knows that's where her people are. That's where she's getting the most traction and engagement. So that's where she's focusing her efforts. And since we've worked together and since we've launched her website earlier this year, she's really upped her social media game and been creating content that creates those connections. And do you know what? She is getting calls. She's getting inquiries. She's getting people that want to come in for lessons, that want to do more of what she wants to do because she's framed it that way. And it's because she's building those connections through her content. And I can tell you from personal experience, the same thing has happened to me. For me, it's mostly on Instagram that I make those connections in my business, those personal connections. And some of my best clients have been from one-on-one connections that I made on social media, or specifically right now on Instagram for me. Of course, this could change, so I'm not just going to say it's on Instagram, but right now, that's what's happening for me, which also shows you go where your people are and where they're engaging. Because for Katie, it's been Facebook. For me, it's been Instagram. So go with what is working well for you. And guess what? You do not have to have tens of thousands of followers to see sales happening on social media. You just need to intentionally build an audience of followers that are a right fit for you and for your business. Okay? So we've established it's possible no matter your size of your profile. But how is it possible? Well, that is what we're going to dive into. I've got 4 surefire ways that are going to help you to sell on social media. Now, these are not specific types of content that you need to create. So you can take these strategies and ideas and apply them to your stories or to your image or carousel post or to your live videos or to your reels. This is organic, of course. So we're not talking about ads because selling through ads is a whole different thing. And that's why I had a previous episode about ads, right? But this is talking about how you can organically create content and turn those turn those followers into your customers, right? Okay, so let's dig into 4 ways you can sell on social. Now, as I said, you can check out the show notes if you want this list. I will put the highlights always for the episode at the show notes. So today's will be stormlily.com/95. All right, so let's get into how you're going to sell on social. Number 1, I want you to highlight a success story. Now, just think about this. Think about commercials, right? Let's get outside of social media and just think about selling. When you think about commercials, you're going to think one of the ones that comes to mind is weight loss commercials and how they sell through success stories, right? Think about Nutrisystem, think about Weight Watchers, all the different things that are out there for weight loss and health, and they're always showing a transformation, right? They're showing a before and after. And honestly, even those commercials that have pretend stories, such as the medicines you might see an advertisement for and it says it's a paid actor, what are they doing? They're saying, hey, before I had this medicine, this was my life, and now look how great it is, right? They're sharing a success story, even a created one. Why are they doing it? Because it works. When you meet somebody in person and they tell you about a new product they love or why they love it and how well it's worked for them, you're more likely to go out and buy that product, right? Because you've seen the success someone else has had. Even the same for services, when it's a doctor or a chiropractor or even a hairstylist. When you see someone enjoying success that we innately desire, right? Then you naturally want that as well. And it's the same for your social media audience. When you highlight success stories about the people and the horses that you're working with or that you're impacting or that you're serving, your social media audience is naturally going to be thinking about how they want that same result. And this becomes your natural opportunity to sell on social media. Selling through success stories, though, it's so much more than just putting up a picture and saying openings available, right? That's what's so great about it. It's so much more engaging and connecting and connecting, sorry friends, and compelling, right? So essentially, yes, you could say, Denise, aren't you just talking about testimonials? Well, yes, but I want you to go a bit deeper and I want you to really see it as a story because it's more intriguing. And I want you to share it because we're not looking for, in this instance, a one-liner testimonial about how much they love you. I want you to share that transformation, what it was like before and what it's like for them now, and then how your audience can be a part of that, how your audience can experience that as well. Okay, so number 1, success stories. Number 2, share your process. Now, you've heard me talk on the podcast before about the category or idea for posting on social media of going behind the scenes. But this particular instance where I'm saying share your process is more than just taking them on a tour of the barn. I want you to really think about your process in your business. What are the steps that you take to guide people through the process of working with you? What's it like in the beginning? What's it like at the end? What are the midpoint steps in the middle, right? What does that middle look like of working with you? And tell that story on social media as you're working on a project. So this is not the before and after. This is in the middle of it. What step are you on in the process? What are you doing for somebody? Tell them about what it's like to work with you and maybe why this particular step in your process is important. Sharing what you're currently working on is honestly one of the best ways to sell on social because it's a little bit of that fear of missing out, right? That FOMO. When they see that and they're like, oh, that looks like a really awesome experience. I want to do that, right? When they see somebody riding the way they want to ride or riding a horse that they desire to own, or, when someone is walking through the process of scheduling a breeding with you, and all those little details that you maybe take for granted can actually be very enlightening for your potential customers, and it will remind them of what it is that they want. Again, those desires that they have, right? And then the beautiful thing is as you share that, you can also say, are you ready to take the step and invite them to buy your product or your service naturally in that post or that reel or your stories, whatever the case may be. So share your process. Now, let's be honest. I'll be super authentic with you here as I was putting this list together because I know these things work and I've done it for other clients. For me, sharing my process and where I'm at in my work with other clients, this is the one I get sticky on. I'm like, as I'm doing this, I'm like, Denise, you're going to do more of this. So expect to see more of that especially if we're friends on Instagram or you follow me on Instagram. I'll be sharing more of this because I know it works. And I know it's a beautiful thing to let people know what you're working on and to remind them what you actually do offer, right? We talk about providing valuable content and educational content, and that's awesome. But this is another great piece of content that you can share. Okay. All right, friends. Number 3, I want you to give a call to action. And I know this sounds like, well, of course, Denise, but to be honest, I see it all the time. That is left off, right? You share a story and then the end is just leave people hanging, right? And I've told you this example before because I see it all the time, especially from horse trainers, which I love you horse trainers, but I see this all the time. And it is, I'll share my steps in the process, right? And here's a quick video of my ride today on Shiner. So I had a great day with Shiner. This is such a special colt. The end. That's it. I want you to use this opportunity to invite them by giving a call to action. So make it super easy. Do you want them to leave a direct message? Do you want them to leave a comment? Do you want, comment below? I saw one this morning. Comment below with the horse emoji if you agree, right? Comment below with a thumbs up or clapping hands because you're excited if you're ready to get started. Whatever the case may be, right? For example, I'm currently, as you all know, getting ready for a new compelling content challenge in a couple of weeks of the time of this going live. And so in my post, I said, put the word challenge in the comments or send me a direct message with the word challenge, and I'll make sure you get the link to join. Okay. So give them direct and easy call to actions. Now, if you have a product that you're wanting to send them to directly, right? You're like, Denise, I make tack or I create products, nutritional products or whatever the case may be, right? If you have a product or you're saying, I have a specific sign-up page I need to get them to go to, then use a very simple and easy URL. So again, for the challenge, if you want to find out and sign up, it's stormlily.com/challenge. So I can also in my content easily say to get signed up to join the challenge today, head to stormlily.com/challenge. Okay, so make it very easy. Don't, as much as you can, of course, depends on your website URL, but you can buy new ones if you have to and redirect them pretty easily so that you can make it easy for people to get to where you're telling them to go. Now, of course, you can also just link directly to it depending on the post type that you have, okay? So if it's in your stories, use that sticker link, right? So take advantage of ways that you can make it very easy for them to get where they need to go. Now, can I just tell you this? I see a lot of times link in profile, and I love that, and I do that as well, but only do it if it's true and it's going to be true for a while. Or you can say link in profile through whatever date, right? Because if you're just putting it there short term and then they see that later on and they go there because they're interested in it and it's like, what in the world, where did it go? Because you changed your link. Because right now, right, you can only have one link in your Instagram profile, for example. So you can do what I've seen many others do and what I do as well, which is I have a stormlily.com/Instagram. And that is all the links that I reference in my bio, and you can easily see that. So if you go to my Instagram bio and click on that link, you're going to see the links that I've referenced in my post previously. I hope that makes sense to you. Just again, make it easy. Okay. Now, with stories, of course, you can save those to your highlights, by the way. So if I have also seen people do a post and it says find link in stories or saved in my highlights, because they've saved it in both places. That way, no matter when somebody is going to look for it, you can tell them which highlight to go to, right? So again, give a clear call to action and make it easy for them to follow that step, to take that action, okay? Because here's the thing. If they don't know the easy and the quick next step to take, then they probably won't. Don't expect them to go looking for it, right? It's up to you to tell your audience what to do next to buy from you. All right, friends, we've got 1, 2, and 3, right? So success stories, processes, calls to action, and number 4, I want you to get them on your email list. Keep that conversation going and build the relationship, right? Now, in this instance, of course, this is not exactly selling like a transfer of money, right, on your social media in terms of a particular product or service they're buying. But this is going to be selling your email list. And as you do that, you'll continue that relationship. You will continue to be in touch with them. You all know I'm a big fan of your active email list. So what I want you to do here is to sell the value they'll have when they're on your list. Why should they want to be one of your email friends, right? What's the value of that? And again, you may be thinking, Denise, why is this your 4th strategy for selling on social? This is taking them off of social. Well, remember, social media is a great tool to get people to continue that conversation with you outside of social media. When they trust you enough to give you their email address, then you are taking the connection that you started and building on that relationship using email. And with the email, you have direct access to their inbox. You can cross your fingers that they see it on social media, but as of this time of recording, the stats will say about 2% of your followers will organically see your post. However, with email marketing, anywhere from 20 to 50% of your emails will get opened by your list. Of course, depending on the health of your list and a few other factors, but still 20% versus 2% is pretty good, right? So do what you can to sell your email list to get them to buy from you via email long-term. Build that relationship, okay? Because in your emails, you're going to be strategically selling as well. All right. So you've got success stories. Share your processes. Give a call to action and get them onto your email list. So I would love to know, which one are you going to do now? Which one are you going to take action on in the next 48 hours? Okay. So send me a direct message on Instagram, shoot me an email. Tell me what you're going to do to help you to sell on social media. Take just one of these things. Do not get overwhelmed. All right. Pick one. And in the next 48 hours, take action on that one thing. Now, if you would like more help with this idea, if you would like more help selling on social media, you're a business owner, so I know that you're approaching social media from the perspective of ROI, right? What's the return on your investment? Well, I've got 2 things for you today that I want to make sure that you know about. The first thing I have already mentioned to you, and that is my new 3-day compelling content challenge. It's coming up in 2 weeks. It's going to be October 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2022, for anyone listening to the replay. And inside of this challenge, just in case you have not done one before. So of course, we know challenges are rampant right now online, but they're beautiful because you get live teaching, right? I'm going to share with you over the course of 3 days through live teaching what you need to know to create content that actually connects you to the people that'll be buying from you. How to go from either A, I haven't posted in weeks or months because I really flat out don't know what to say, or B, I post, but it's kind of like what you said earlier, Denise. There's some fun updates here and there, but there's no strategy behind it, right? I'm not really selling. I'm not really building my business using social media. If that's the case, then I want you to jump into this challenge because it is going to help you to get clear on who you're talking to, what you need to be saying to them. And I'm even going to give you a tool that's going to help you make a plan that you feel comfortable with, that you can commit to. So head to stormlily.com/challenge to get signed up, and be sure that if you invite a friend, right? Be sure that if you know someone that would benefit from this, if you have other friends in the industry and that are saying the same thing as you, and you're both sitting around saying, oh, I know I should do social media, but whatever the but is, right? If those people, I need you to send them a message and say, hey, Denise is doing this challenge. Her podcast has been helping me. I really think we should do it together. Invite a friend, get in there together, okay? stormlily.com/challenge. Now, the second thing I want you to know is that Social Stride is also going to be opening on October 11th. So I'm doing both of those things October 11th, okay? So if you've heard me talk about Social Stride on the podcast, or maybe today is the first time, and you're saying, well, that sounds interesting. What is that? It is my monthly coaching program where every month I provide caption templates, 10, to my members to help them get started with their social media content that month. They're essentially like Mad Libs for social media, right? So for example, you will get a category of content that's written to help you sell on social. I'm going to write content that's going to help you promote your freebie, that's going to help you tell your story, right? Different templates that you can take and customize to fit your voice, fit your business, but to actually help you sell and build your business using social media. So you get 10 of those every month. And in addition to that, you'll get an equine calendar. So I go through and find the events in the industry, as many as I can, and fit them on one calendar so that you can see what's going on, plan your content around that. And then every month, there is a live group coaching session where we are live together. You get to meet your fellow members, and then I will coach you on a marketing topic. It is not always social media, but it is definitely always marketing related, and it will help you sharpen that marketing axe. And then, of course, there is a private Facebook community. So I want you to have a place where you can meet fellow equine entrepreneurs, see what others are doing, and encourage one another to take action as well. And then we also do quarterly challenges. So this challenge coming up is for anybody and everybody, but we also do quarterly challenges inside the membership as well. So I wanted you to know this because, like I said, the doors open to Social Stride and the challenge starts both on October 11th. And Social Stride will only be open for 6 days. After that, I'm closing it for the rest of the year. It'll open back up next year for sure, but I will tell you now the pricing will be changing. So if you want to get in at the 2022 pricing, this is going to be your last chance. So if you've been on the fence, I invite you to check it out. You can get on the wait list, stormlily.com/socialstride. And again, all of these things will be on the show notes for you. Or you can always feel free to send me a message with any of your questions about the challenge or about Social Stride, okay? I want to help you to build that business that you have deep in your heart. You have a vision for it. I know you do. And you're doing all the things. And you know that marketing is going to be a key player for you, right? So I want to help you with that. So jump into the challenge, jump into Social Stride, go over to those links and mark your calendars for October 11th, okay? All right. I do hope that you will take what you've learned today, though. Do not wait till October 11th. Take what you've learned today and take action. And then send this to a friend, right? If you've enjoyed this series on the podcast, if you've enjoyed the content here on the podcast for the past 94, 95 episodes, then I'd be so grateful if you'd share it with a friend and share about it on Apple Podcast. It really does let others know if this is valuable and helpful information. So often I get a message from somebody on Instagram or I get an email that says, thank you for the podcast. I've learned so much. It's really helped me. And I love that. It's so encouraging. And then I would love it if you also put that on Apple Podcast or anywhere there are reviews, because that lets others know that it's a helpful place where they can find information that's going to be broken down and be practical and doable so you can take action. Okay? I'm so grateful you joined me here today. I'm excited to see you guys get out there and sell on social media, and I'll see you here again next week. Have an awesome day.